Hammers up, everyone. Towelliee here. 11.2 PTR is out. We are out here Mythic raid testing. We're going to show you a little bit of the Manaforge Omega raid. And this is Soulbinder Naazindhri. Naazindhri. I think it's Naazindhri. Whatever. Pretty easy fight. I think this is either the second or third fight of the encounter. I know after you defeat the first boss, you can kind of go left or right. I'm pretty sure you can go either way. So this is either boss number 2 or 3. I'm calling it 3. So let's get into it. This was, once again, Mythic testing earlier today. And I'm going to go by... I'm kind of doing a Warcraft Recorder review here. So, first thing you're going to see is Mystic Lash. That's just a tank channel. He's just constantly lashing at you, doing arcane damage. So, you know, pop a cooldown if you think you need it. You probably don't really need anything, at least not at this point in the fight. Little weak aura there. One thing I will say, not a lot of weak auras are actually needed for the first 3 bosses. Okay, so now all around the room, these pillars will spawn. These pillars have adds in them. On heroic, all you gotta do is get like this beam, this frontal beam that gets put on a DPS or healer or somebody, and then just point it at the, we'll call it the cage, and then it just pops. But now there's a mechanic that usually on heroic you would probably spread out for, however you want to handle it. But you're gonna see right here, right there, you see everyone kind of stacking with that ability. So that goes on a few people in the raid. So that's going to shoot out, kind of like in a star, these orbs. Now you want those orbs to hit the cages, because that will take away, I guess there's like a ward or some sort of protection on it. And then after that, we're going to hit it with the beams. So we decided to go with the strategy of just stacking, because right now there's no penalty for stacking. I'm thinking they might fix that, because it seems a little bit too easy right now to do that, but I can't see any other way of doing it. I guess you're going to have like the other people spread out around the room with it, and then have the one person just stay here. But we just decided to stack, so we just put the markers down to stack. You're going to see right here, it's going to come out. I see these orbs. Orbs are coming out. As long as the orbs hit the cages, and each cage actually has different kinds of adds. You have phase blades, assassins, and I believe there's mages. We decided that the phase blades are probably the worst ones to deal with. Mages just got to interrupt. I'm not sure what assassins do. I think they just like teleport behind you or something. But you see, so at that point we should have hit it, and now we're going to point the beams. Now with these beams, you do want to stand behind the actual cages to get hit. So you can see we're going to hit these, and voila. Now, these don't attack you here. Now, while this whole encounter is going on, there's actually 2 more across from us. There's 4 in the middle of the room, and then there's a mirror of this side on the opposite side of the room. So you can only handle 3 sets. The rest you just got an AoE tank, and you'll see that in a few minutes here in the video. So you see, so at this point, they're not unlocked. So there's, like I said, there's a cast time on these cages going on. Once the cast time is over, then they come out of the cages and they start attacking. So let me show you this knockback that just happened here. So there's going to be an arcane explosion. That's just basically a knockback. Now, on Mythic, when you land, you leave behind a puddle. So you're going to see we get knocked back, we leave a puddle. I think the idea here, obviously, is to kind of keep these puddles contained to a certain area. So right here, we kind of want to put it like on the opposite end of the room. And that's pretty simplistic. So there's Mystic Lash again. I think here I might have ripped aggro. I just think I just ripped aggro. Because I'm a prop pally and I'm a degenerate. But there we go. We have the markers down again. Everyone's going to stack with a little star. I believe this is, what do we call this? The equivalent of the, it was the Shadowlands Season 1 Primordial? The Primordial Seasonal Affix, I think it was called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Is that when we're all stacking, you're going to see the orbs coming out. You can see orb hits there, orb hits there. Bam. And that's it. That's all you got to do. But you can see the cast on the cages right here. You see the Soul Weave cast almost halfway through. So boom, boom, Phase Blade and Mage. And once again, these phase Blades and Mages, they don't do anything. They just stand there. They don't do diddly squat. You just get them. And now we're going to stack together for the Arcane Expulsion, excuse me, not Explosion. There you go. I think that one we probably could have put it back here and then maybe put up a gate to port back to the middle. So now you're going to see the middle area of the room. And here we have 4. So obviously we're only going to be able to get rid of 2 of these. And then we're going to go into, I guess, what would be called the intermission. So we're stacking again. We're making sure we're going to hit these first 2, which I believe we do. I really can't tell sometimes. Sometimes you can just nip it. But there you go. The 2 lines, break it. So it's like, kind of like a 2-step process, you know, hit it, break the barrier, then hit it, break the cage. And then here we go. You can see the Soul Weave cast right there is about to finally complete. So we're going to get the 2 adds here, 2 adds here, 2 adds here, and that should be 6 adds total. Now on the Prop Alley side of things, this is a pretty fun boss for Prop Alley because you get to kind of hold on to that lovely Divine Toll, round up all the adds. And you can see right now the mages, they're casting their Void Burst. You probably want to have people interrupting that. Once they're all together, I go ahead and I just do a little Bubble Taunt. I went Bubble Taunt for this. That Phase Blade came in way too late. The Phase Blades cannot be CC'd from what the guild was telling me, but everything else can be. So everything else can be stunned, interrupted. But yeah, so I just Bubble Taunt here because everything here is doing so much damage. Like you are taking a lot of damage, especially with once the Phase Blades get in here. They F pretty hard. But that's it. That's the encounter. That's Mythic Soulbinder Naazindhri. It's not really that hard or complicated of an encounter. And very visually easy to follow. This, I mean, it's kind of like part of like that new initiative that Blizzard wants to do to make give people time to do the abilities, make everything more visually appealing. So like I felt like I did this boss and I don't need a single weak aura at all. Even when we get like the debuff right here, where the DPS get the debuff to stack to make the little stars shoot out to break the barrier on the cages. I mean, maybe you might need a weak aura for that. Say, hey, you have a cage, go to your marker, go to star, go to triangle, go to moon. But I don't think it's really necessary, you know? I mean, but, you know, as a tank, sometimes we do need a lot of weak aura, sometimes we don't. So far, first 3 encounters of the raid, we have not needed a lot. But obviously, you probably might have seen already the other videos of the other raid bosses we've killed. But here we go again. We break the shield. Now we break the cages. Now we DPS it down. And yeah, I mean, like I said, pretty easy fight. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. But so far, for the second or third, as I'm calling it officially for me, the third boss of the raid, pretty easy. I think most guilds, I think this is like a really good puggable boss. Honestly, if you ask me, this is a good third boss, pug boss for a lot of you puggies out there that like to, you know, that can't dedicate yourselves to a mythic raiding guild and you just want to kind of like join up, you know, one of those like 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. Saturday night raids. But yeah, we kind of finished the boss off here. And once again, Phase Blades. We want to get rid of those, get rid of many as those as humanly possible. I'm almost thinking you could probably, is there any, let me see, is there any Phase Blades in the middle here? There's an assassin. Oh, there's a Phase Blade in the middle. Yeah, the boss move's very weird. When he's doing that Mystic, he does that Mystic tank cast literally after he does the expulsion. So it's kind of like not that great of an ability to have when you're trying to move the boss to a specific location. But here we go. This will be the last 2 that we kill again. Phase Blade Assassin. I could see Blizzard definitely making this fight a little bit harder. Like I said, I don't think they're gonna like the idea of us like stacking for the star. But I mean, I think that's the strat. I think that's what we're supposed to do. But once again, we were like 695 item level here, which is basically the first 2 bosses of Heroic tuned. So it could also be that these bosses were just a little undercooked in general for testing, just so that we can see more phases. But there you go. That's the fight. That's the encounter. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for 11.2 and the new raid and the storyline? Zalatos. Who doesn't like some Zalatos?